Keys in the car, driving to the mall. Hard work this week, reward after all. Have you ever had that time in your life, maybe even recently, where you have had a hard work week? You just got in the car, you're just turning the key, and then you say, hey, I deserve a reward. So off you go to the mall, searching for a dose of dopamine, trying not to create a scene. Have you ever remember when you were a kid, when your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa brought you to the store where you were going to spend your money? Did you ever get so excited that you forgot that there were other people around? Well, as adults, I'm sure, we have done that once or twice when we are just on a mission because we need that hit of dopamine, and we really don't care if we do create a scene. But in this day and age of phones and social media, I'm sure if we create a scene, we'll see it somewhere, right? Let me ask you this. Where does all your moolah go? Do you know where all your moolah goes? I know we, don't like the word budget. That's such a bad word, but do you know where all your moolah goes? Needs and wants, variable and fixed. Priorities, many things in the mix. You need to know where all your moolah goes. Do you have needs and wants? To somebody, a need might be a want. To somebody, a want may be a need. Have you ever written down what you need versus what you want? Is what you want or need, is it a variable expense or is it a fixed expense? What is variable to you and what is fixed to you? What is a priority to you? Because all of us have many things in the mix, whether they be fixed expenses, variable expenses, whether they be needs, whether they be wants. And at the end of the day, you need to know where all your moolah goes. A pain to track on a regular basis. This new habit of yours becomes your rockin' oasis. You need to know where all your moolah goes. Now, I'm sure we can all agree that tracking a budget is a pain in the butt. Especially on a regular basis. You may start things like, January 1st, you start your New Year's resolution each year. And then by January 2nd, you're thinking, hey, I'll track that next year. But if it becomes a new habit and you do have a enjoyable time doing it, you don't make it all about, or you don't make it feel like it is work, but it is something important to do. But if you have fun doing it, it may just become your rockin' oasis. Any Oasis fans out there? Because you do need to know where all your moolah goes. Would you do it if you called it a budget or your personal cash flow? But if you were to ask me, I'd call it moolah flow. Yes, moolah flow. If you chose to not call what you spend and what you bring in each month and what you spend each month if you didn't call it a budget, what would you call it? And if you did call it what you wanted to call it, would you follow it? Take a minute to think about that. Make sure you don't have to pay after you're back from your holiday. Now, we all like to take holidays, and some of us can take more than others, and some have to save up more than others for a holiday. But don't you think that it would be that much more fun on your holiday if you knew that it wasn't on your credit card and you had to pay for it when you got back? Just something to think about. Do you believe in short-term pain as long as you receive a long-term gain? Now, you've probably heard that saying before that I have in those lyrics. Is it short-term pain, long-term gain? Now, are you one of thinking that I need to worry about the future and wait till I get there until I can live my life the way I want it today? Or are you one that will sacrifice something today and not worry about so much of what happens in the future? A question to ponder. Let me ask you this. Where does all your moolah go? As a financial planner, over the last 25 years, I'm sure I asked a few people a couple times, and I may sound like a broken record. I don't know if that's ironic, this is a song, but about where does all your moolah go? So what you've read so far or listened so far, do you kind of figure out or have you figured out the importance of knowing where all your moolah goes? Goals and dreams, find your flow, plans to make, or does luck just have it? You need to know where all your moolah goes. Have you ever bought a lottery ticket before? You know, are you just wanting to, or do you believe that, hey, everything in life is just luck? Well, I would suggest that it is important to consider, and even do, is write down your goals and your dreams and find out what your flow is, meaning find out what puts a smile on your face. What are the things that you did during the week? What are vacations or activities you've done with your family over in the past that you'd like to do? What is on your bucket list? Because if things are on your bucket list, you do have plans to make. Because, you know, I don't know how much luck you'd have if you just showed up at the airport and said, hey, I'd like to go to Hawaii. Do you need a sticker system like when you were young? You know you won't do it unless it's lots of fun. You need to know where all your moolah goes. Do you remember back in the day when we all did potty training? You know, some of us were luckier than others. We got rid of those diapers sooner than others, and I remember a sticker system that my mother and father had for me, being the oldest. I won't get into the number of stickers I got for certain things, but, you know, it just brings back the whole sticker system. Is that if you are going to do your budget, or sorry, that's a bad word. If you're going to create your moolah flow or whatever you call it, do you think it would be fun to have your own sticker system? And if you did, what would those stickers, what would you have to do in order to earn those stickers? And the last question is, would you create a sticker chart like you would maybe do if you were doing a dream board Would you do it if you called it a budget or your personal cash flow? But if you were to ask me, I'd call it Moolah Flow. Yes, Moolah Flow. Now, at the end of this song, it does ask again, would you do it if you called it a budget or your personal cash flow? But if you were to ask me, I'd call it Moolah Flow. So have you figured out what you'd like to call your budget? Put your name or the title or what you want to call it below. And I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you to my community called the Improve Community. And inside there is a free program called, can you guess? Where does all your moolah go? And in that program is you will have 4 modules to find out where your moolah goes. We will have the opportunity for a group Q&A, a group call where you're invited to a live Zoom call where you can ask your questions. You can send me the questions directly. And if you're interested, I will have an offer where we can work together one-on-one in a group, or sorry, in a one-on-one setting. But if you have a partner or a spouse, you're more than welcome to bring them along too. Because if you're in a relationship, in a marriage, if you have a partner, significant other, it's very important to include them in the family, the household question of where does your moolah go and where does our moolah go. So check below your invitation to the Improve Community, and I hope to see you there. Thanks again and have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.